Hello and welcome to Shimrath Plays Caves of Qud. It is time. It is time for a brand new beginning. We are going to start a brand new game. Now, this is the mod manager screen. I have downloaded 2 mods to the game. One of those is called the Appearance Change Wish, which we'll explain in a minute. The second one is called Unencumbered. You can find these mods in the workshop portion of Steam under the Caves of Qud game, and there's different things that do different things. So we'll talk about these when they come up in the game. Unencumbered is a mod that helps you figure out what to carry around and what to get rid of, because it sort of balances the weight versus worth of an item. So yeah, these are installed for this run through. We are not going to roll a random character today. We're going to create a new character. This is a first time thing for the channel. If you watched the last series, you know why we're doing this. I looked into both the Truekin and the Mutated Human options. The Truekin would be very straightforward and simple. They'd be a very tough, survivable character, but they only get one cybernetic implant. So they're a little bit boring as far as the options that they get. So I decided to go ahead and make a Mutated Human, sticking with my own personal preference. And so that's what we're going to do today. First thing I'm going to do is get everything up to 16. 16 is the point where you don't have a negative modifier. So I'm going to kind of use that as my baseline and then build my stats from there. We are going to play a melee type character, a really tough type character. So we want to raise our strength, we want to raise our toughness for sure. Agility is maybe not as important, but I think it's going to be more important than intelligence, willpower, or ego, and you'll find out why in a minute, because I've got this all planned out. It took a little research to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, but hopefully it's going to be fun and it's going to work out. So at this point I have 2 points left. That would be enough to raise another attribute to 18, or to take an existing attribute and raise it to 19. So I'm going to go ahead and raise strength. And then we're going to go to the next one. Now, Morphotypes. The Morphotypes, there's 3 different ones. The 2 most straightforward ones are Chimera and Esper. A Chimera only manifests physical mutations, and Esper only manifests mental mutations. So basically, you can, for a point, you can basically restrict to one group or the other. I'm going to make a Chimera, so we're only going to manifest physical mutations as time goes on. So that means all these mental mutations and mental defects are off the list, right? Now, as far as mutations go, let's start with the defects. We want some extra points, and we can go with the very worst ones, which are the -4. The -4 means you get 4 points for taking this. They'll add to your total of 12 points. We've spent 1 on Chimera so far. We're going to take one of these, and I think it's going to be carnivorous in the end. I think the last time I kind of practiced building the character, I ended up picking the defect at the end based on how many points I needed to get what I wanted. But we're going to go ahead and do it the other way around. We'll go to our physical mutations. We're going to take one called Adrenal Control. The cool thing about Adrenal Control is when you activate it, you get a +10 to your quickness, and your other physical mutations gain 1 rank. So this will benefit any other physical mutations that we have. And we are going to be double muscled, which gives us a +2 to our strength score, and a 15% chance to daze our opponent on a successful melee attack. We're also going to take heightened quickness to give us +15 quickness. And then we're going to take 2 hearted, which gives us a +2 toughness, and makes it so we can sprint longer. Alright, we have 0 points remaining, which means I think I did something wrong, because I'm supposed to have 1 point left to get night vision, but I don't seem to have that. So, let me think about this and see where I went wrong. Alright, it looks like in my initial... I think I might have left off the two-hearted and instead taken night vision and one more 2-point. Maybe it was heightened hearing. I think it was heightened hearing. Okay, I think that's what I did. I think this is good enough. So let's go ahead and say we're good with that. Now, these are the callings, right? These are basically the character classes, if you talk about this from a RPG standpoint. But the callings only apply to mutants. The Truekin humans have their own sort of factions or whatever that they come from. A different list of things. We're going to be a Marauder. A Marauder gives +2 strength, which will put our strength at 23. And they get proficiencies in axe, and they also have the dismember skill, which allows you to basically chop people's limbs off. They get charge and the butchery skill. I'm carnivorous, so butchery is kind of a good thing because I can't eat anything but meat. So yeah, Marauder it is. And so here we go. Our starting attributes. We have 18 hit points. We're a chimera, which means we're only going to ever develop physical mutations, and then we have adrenal control, double muscled, heightened hearing, heightened quickness, and night vision. Yeah, so bada bing. We are once again going to start in a random village, and it's going to be in the Salt Dunes. Alright, we're going to let the game choose our name for us. And here we go. This is it. This is the beginning of a brand new run through. Hopefully one that's going to be a little more exciting based on the fact that we built a survivable character, or what we hope is a survivable character. On the 2nd of Kisu Ux, you arrive at the village of Sapa and Fungus Patch. On the horizon, Qud's jungles strangle chrome steeples and rusted archways to the earth. Further and beyond, the fabled spindle rises above the fray and pierces the cloud-ribboned sky. We are called Oyuun. 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 Oyuun? Oyuun. Oyuun. Oyuun, I think, is the best way to pronounce that. Oyuun. All right, let's immediately, before looking around, go to our character sheet. I pressed X on the keyboard to get there. So, boom, here's our things. We just looked at all these. Adrenal control. At this rank, you can increase your body's adrenaline flow for 20 rounds. While it's flowing, you get +10 quickness, and other physical mutations gain 1 rank. Okay, so all those other ones that have a 1 are physical. Well, all of my mutations are physical mutations, but the ones that have a 1 are the ones that can go up in rank. So basically, when I click on adrenaline control, it will make double muscled, heightened hearing, and heightened quickness all rank 2, and that'll get better as time goes up, right? I think at a certain point that +1 rank becomes +2 or more. So double muscled, right? Strength, better chance to stun opponents. So essentially it will, when I'm adrenalized, it will simply raise the chance that I daze someone. Heightened hearing at the net will be a radius of 7 instead of 5 when I'm in adrenaline. Heightened quickness will basically go to +17 quickness instead of +15. Alright, so at first level, not exceptional, the adrenaline control, but hopefully this is going to kind of synchronize as we get to be higher level. Alright, Oyuun, I think, is ready to go. Let's look at what we are wielding. We're wearing furs, an Isakari banner, because we come from the Salt Flats. We're wielding a bronze battle axe. Now, we have night vision, so we do not need to carry this. We will extinguish it and remove it. And then we'll go over to our inventory and see if there's anything else. We have basically nothing else. We've got 32 drams of water for trading. We can sell all these torches. So let us explore the village. I'm going to go ahead and click Auto Explore and just let this dude run around. There's a stone stele here, and the glyphs inscribed into the ancient stone are refracted into the present. The object is a monument to a scene from the history of the village of Sapa. The foulness of Deriuhim the First was revealed to the people of Sapa through the Farmers Guild. Another stone stele, same thing. The cruelty of the Farmers Guild was revealed to the people of Sapa through profaning alcohol. Alright, so basically just cruising around and reading everything that's readable or painted. Or this is a desecrated shrine to Deriuhim the First, the Kalish Terror. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient sultan. In early 5053 BR, Deriuhim challenged the legitimacy of the Sultan of Qud over an ordinance prohibiting the practice of seasoning food. He won and took the crown. He was 15 years old. Fortunately, it's been desecrated by vandals. Not sure if they like him or dislike him here. I think they dislike him, right? According to what we've read so far. Just getting a sense of who's around, kind of watching where people are inside. There's the Dromad Trader. There's people cruising around. Lots of chests around, but we can't loot any of the ones in the town here. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick walk over in this direction. I'm going to say hello to the Dromad Trader. And we are going to just go ahead and get rid of all these torches. And I think for now, we'll just probably take the money, because we don't really have a lot of cash. But what we want to do is find more axes. So this is on the list of things we want right here. The steel battle axe. Right now, well, we don't need more axes because we don't have more hands. For some reason I was thinking about playing a character with multiple arms. We could use a missile weapon, but I don't think we're going to spend a lot of our money at the very beginning to get extra items. I think we are just going to find out what the quests before us will be. And then, this guy's yellow. Cries upon salt. May the earth yield for us this season. Artifacts hold no value over the contemplation of grains of the earth. Cool, man. I'm looking for work. Okay, speak to sage, flays in the sun, cries near quicksalt, or chokes on oil. Alright, cool. Live and drink, man. We gotta find these individuals. I'm assuming they're in here someplace. This thing looks interesting. What is it? It is Warden Hilcharidabush. Hilchardide bush. Man, that's a mouthful. It looks like he is an actual plant creature. We could tell him we're looking for work, but yeah, he's going to tell us to see the same people. We're not going to do any water rituals right now because we'll have to kind of examine folks to see who they're affiliated with. Doing the water ritual, I think I've mentioned before, will sort of change your standing with different factions. You want to make sure you don't share water with anybody that's going to cause you grief down the line. Okay, this is Chews on Quicksalt, Drinks Upon the Sun, the village apothecary. He says find the others. Alright, I have more to ask because if I can, I want to buy some witchwood bark from you. And I can buy witchwood bark. I may as well go ahead and buy these wine wafers too. I'm still not up to even 1 dram of water, so let's go ahead and buy probably 2 bandages. Maybe 3 bandages. Maybe 4 bandages. Oof, that's 11 drams. Okay, let's go back to 2 and just be happy with that. We'll go ahead and trade our unburnt torches for them. We'll offer them up, and you'll have to give us 2 drams of fresh water. All right, here we go. Live and drink. And let's be out of here. We still haven't found our quest locations, but before we do, I forgot about one of the mods that we did. One of the mods that we did was called Wish to Rename Yourself or something like that. So I think I've already done this in a previous game, but I'm going to show you how to do this. You need to be able to wish. And wish is a command that is not bound to any specific key. So we will go to the... I think this is in debug. No, I'm wrong. Let's go back completely and go to key mapping. There we go. So we're going to scroll all the way down because it's in alphabetical order, and here is wish. Normally this would say none, but I have bound it by hitting space and then pressing the key combination I would like to bind. I did Control-Alt-W, and then I said, yes, I want to bind it. So now Alt-Control-W will open up the wish command. This is like a debugging thing that you can use for, I guess, in debug mode. I guess if you're working on making a mod or something, and then yes, we want to save our changes. So now I'm going to press it. Control-Alt-W. Your wish is my command. The command with this mod is look like, then a colon, and you need to name a creature in the game that you want your character sprite to look like. Now, how would you possibly know this? You could go to the Caves of Qud wiki, and you can find a page there that lists all of the creatures in the game in order of experience point reward for defeating, right? So the most valuable to the least valuable. And if you really zoom the web page in, you can see the sprites and find one that you like and then note the name of it down. I did that, and I found one called a Cannibal Cherub, and I'm now going to say I want to look like a Cannibal Cherub. Boom. All right. My little dude has turned into a big muscle-bound guy with like a red backpack on his back, or a shield, I suppose, and I guess a little kind of red mohawk, because this is a brute marauder, right? A brutish marauder, a hugely strong character. So I figured it would be cool to look like this while we run around. So that was the entire reason for that mod. It's just a pretty simple change that I think makes me happier as I'm playing. So worth it. All right, let's chat with this person. Sage flays in the sun, cries near Quicksalt. Drifter, welcome to the village of Sapa. Didn't one of my other characters start in Sapa? Seems very familiar. Here you will find shade and victual, along with other provisions to help you better scour the rust caves for treasure. Come what may, you may drink of our fresh water and quench your thirst. I'm looking for work. Kiss the bygone festival that you are here, friend. I could use you for a project. Recently, I visited Kinna and lost a detuned cortical regenerator of the hallowed democracy. To be my muse, I require it. Acquire it, and I'll compensate you for your assistance. Will you do it? Of course I'll do it. Alright, I have a new quest. My map has been marked accordingly, and I am going to go ahead and walk away and find the other important individual in town, which hopefully is inside this place. Chokes on Oil, the village tinker. Need a gadget repaired or identified, friend? Or, if you're a tinker yourself, perhaps you'd like to peruse my schematics. Offer my services for work. I'm grateful to the potent friend that you are here, friend. Visiting defenders came to our village the other day. While breaking bread, they spoke of a delightful place, Tantalum Alash, but they wouldn't reveal the location. Would you be willing to locate it? It would be a great dower to the technological prospects of our village. We will reward your services. We hear it's located somewhere between 4 and 8 parasangs north of the Bronze Napier. Well, of course I'll do that. Alright, so these are my 2 quests. I don't think I got any quests from looking at statues and stuff like that, but I am going to talk to this person one more time just to see what they sell. Alright, all the kind of tinker stuff. I'm going to make sure there was nothing painted in their inventory. Sometimes You can find painted items in the inventory, and as a result, you can get some other quests. Same here, talked to them already. Sold my torches and such. So I think that's basically it. Someone special? This is just a normal raider. Who else was there that I could buy some stuff from? Was it Mr. Yellow? Nope. Alright. Never looked at this statue. This statue, worked from marble, intricately depicts an apple farmer. It's also been desecrated. This brawny, mustachioed man wears a white apron stained with the juice of star apples. His sable hair mats against the brown skin of his forehead. From his left forearm hangs a wet rag, with which he scrubs the dirt from his hands every few moments. Alright. Okay, so last thing that is important to us. We'll go to our character sheet. We know about our mutations, and down here you can see we have release adrenaline is basically our only mutation activate ability, right? But also we have these. We have the axe skill, which gives us axe proficiency, which gives us +2 to hit with axes, and we have dismember. Normally you wouldn't be able to get dismember until your strength was, I think, 21. Our strength is 21, but even if you didn't meet that prerequisite, a Marauder would still start with dismember. It is an activated ability with a cooldown of 30. If you hit with your axe and penetrate, you dismember one of your opponent's limbs at random, and they start bleeding. And then your axe also has a percentage chance to dismember. 3% for one-handed axes, 6% for two-handed axes. Alright, so we'll be chopping people's limbs off. Go ahead and close that. We automatically start with butchery, so we will be butchering corpses and eating them, because we'll probably be eating them raw. We're cannibal, but we also don't get sick if we eat uncooked meat. Under tactics, we start with charge. You charge forward 2 or 3 squares and perform a melee attack at +1 penetration. So I think it's good to maybe charge and dismember at the same time, because you're more likely to penetrate and then cut somebody's limbs off. So charging will be a tactic. Of course, we can make camp. I think everybody that starts the game can. And that is it. So, yeah, that's that. So if we go back to the screen, you can see we have butchered corpses, which is just toggled on. The ability to charge, the ability to dismember, make camp and sprint as usual. And then we have a new one called drop weight. And drop weight is disabled currently. I need to look into how to enable that, because I can't click it, but it may only come into play when we become overburdened. The mod that I downloaded that keeps track of your encumbrance, I've kind of watched some folks play with it, and when you get enough weight on your person that encumbrance becomes an issue, like a pop-up comes up and says, like, here's the most weighty, least valuable thing, would you like to get rid of it? And you can basically start dropping items until you're not encumbered anymore. But it will prompt you to get rid of the least valuable things first for the weight to value ratio. So makes it a little easier to decide what to get rid of and what to try to carry back to town to sell. So that is it for Oyuun's introduction. Let us come over here and admire our bulky form for a moment, and I think in the next episode we will explore the outskirts and see if there's anything valuable in a chest that no one is currently looking after, and see if we can kind of drum up some equipment or funds before we go out into the dangerous wastelands. Before we go, though, we will take a look at the overland map and see how far away these quests are. Pressing lowercase L to look, one of our locations, the Bronze Napier, is over here in the Salt Dunes. So, and I believe the quest said the other place was like 4 to 8 parasangs north of that. So we're talking about the very edge of the Salt Dunes that we'll need to explore. Otherwise, we could go into the desert canyons to find Kinna. And then in Kinna, we're supposed to find an item that the mayor of the town once recovered, so that's another option. What we might do is kind of just explore the region close to home for a bit first, pop a couple of levels, see if we can find anything valuable to kind of upgrade our equipment, and I guess kind of road test our abilities and our combat capabilities and our survivability. I tried to, with this build, you'll notice up here my quickness is 115, so slightly higher than your average person. When you build a survivable character, you kind of want to have an escape route, and I was thinking our escape route would be being really good at running away. So, for example, if we release our adrenaline right now, our quickness just went up to 125, and then if we sprint, oh, it cannot sprint on the world map. Of course you can't. That would be silly. Let's go to the center. If we were to sprint, oh, I'm going to release adrenaline again. Now we're at 125, and then if we sprint, it doesn't change our speed, but I think because of our mutation and being adrenalized, we can run faster. So I'm assuming it looks like the quickness already wore off. Maybe the adrenaline already wore off. This doesn't last very long, but anyway, that's going to be our tactic, is running away. So anyway, sneak preview of what it looks like on the north screen here. We will explore the rest of the outskirts in the next episode. So thank you for tuning in. Welcome to our created character run-through of Oyuun, the Marauder. And yeah, thanks for watching.